Hey guys, we got a special episode for you this week. It's a little bit different than usual. The Group Chat Denver and Hello Darling partnered up to put on a singles mixer. They graciously invited Table for One. We pulled up in the corner and did some interviews with a variety of different people. Some good stories, bad dating stories, and definitely a bunch of different outlooks on Denver dating. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, just want to add that we will be doing more live events in the future. We have some brand new content ideas coming for upcoming episodes. Be sure to follow us on Instagram if you aren't. That's the best way to stay up to date on all that we're doing. And lastly, I just want to apologize for the quality of audio on this episode. Give you a little behind the scenes look on why it sounded like that. But we will do better in the future. Thank you. Enjoy.
Rahel, thank
Hi.
you. You're our first guest on our Table for One podcast, and we are at Hello Darling on 32nd here. So appreciate you being so brave and doing this.
Yep.
But you said you had a hot take about dating. Was that it?
Yeah, most likely I'd say like dating apps specifically.
Okay, yeah.
Just a lot of unintentional dating going around. I feel like a lot of people just want to like have fun, especially men, obviously.
Okay. I feel like a lot of people have that same view on dating that you have right now.
Yeah, it's like next best thing syndrome, I call it, specifically from the dating apps. But just a lot of people saying like they're intentionally dating, but it doesn't go further, I guess.
And
like
you said you found somebody out, or you caught somebody doing something?
I did.
Okay. Can we get into it a little bit?
Sure. Not that I was going to do that, but yeah, last year, met a guy on Bumble.
Okay.
Great guy, seems really sweet, dated for a whole month. Then added him on Instagram, looked through tags, and then found out he has a girlfriend.
Okay.
So
how'd you find out? Just in the tag you
just
went?
Just a little investigating.
Okay.
You know how women are.
And why do you guys think they can get away with that?
I have
if it's
no
in
idea.
The tag?
You guys are so bad at it.
Yeah.
It's really easy.
Yeah, we're
to
not
catch.
sneaky, you know? Like, we don't cover our bases. It's not great.
And also, women have what's called intuition. We're pretty good at it. We can literally go through following and find the girl.
And so, what did you say to him?
I was honestly pretty shaky for a bit, and I had to have my friends come over. Went out with friends actually. Discussed like, is it actually cheating? I wasn't sure. He had removed all the tags of the picture she tagged him on, so it was being pretty sneaky. Obviously on a dating app, pretending like you're single. Wasted a whole month of my time. But yeah, pretty much texted him the next day.
What he said?
Sent him a screenshot of the picture of him kissing her on the nose, and then it looked like they were together. So.
And then what did he say back?
Did not say anything.
Nothing.
Just
that was
blocked
it.
me on Instagram immediately. But then what I did was also message her. I get blocked on her as well.
Okay.
And then my friend also messages her that night. My friend also gets blocked. So he had actually taken her phone, deleted messages, and blocked both
Now
of
he
us.
starts covering his bases. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. So that was just one
crazy
bad.
one,
That was like one bad thing that happened to you. Like overall, like what do you think about the
I mean,
dating
there's like
scene?
a lot of like sweet guys here, but it's just like the intentionally dating is not there. I feel like the guys can't commit specifically. There's like something in the dating scene. I don't know. People call it like it's terrible dating in Denver. I try not to say it's too bad, but just trying to find the person, you know, your person, but it's a bit tough out here.
Absolutely.
It's a bit hard.
Okay, well that was a great take. Hey, thanks for stopping by and telling us the story. That's pretty good. Yeah. And we can tag you if you need, but
Sounds
anything.
good. Yeah, no worries. Thanks so much.
We'll put it on. Thanks for being so brave and being our first one here. So started it off.
Okay.
All right, we're good. We got she who shall not be named over here. Does not want to be on the camera, but has a good story. So let's talk about it.
Okay, where do I get started? So I was set. Do I have to talk? Can you hear me? Okay,
Well, I'm just gonna listen in a little bit.
Okay, and then hold this up close. Okay, so my friend set me up with her friend's roommate at the time, and I'm like, cool, like meeting somebody organically. That's usually a really great thing to do. So we went on one date. He seemed very nice. He was super kind. We love that. I like kind men. And then I was like, yeah, I'm going to see him again. We go out to dinner, and kind of instantly I was like, I don't think I'm feeling it. But also I was like, I kind of want to just hook up with somebody. So We ended up going back to his place afterwards. This is hard to look you in the face.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
And we started to like make out and everything, just have fun. And I'm a very straightforward person, and I'm like very sex positive. So I'm like, let's talk about this stuff. I'm like, are you into anything? Like, into anything like interesting? Or like, I'm like, I don't judge. And then his face went white. And I was like, oh, and he was like, maybe if we continue seeing each other, I'll tell you. And I'm one of those people that I think everybody just feels very comfortable just telling me their life story, which I don't know, that's cool. I like that. And he was like, I don't know, like, I'm kind of nervous. And I'm like, you don't have to tell me, but if you want to, you can. And he was like, okay. And then he just looks at me and he goes, I'm into diapers. And I've heard a lot of things, and I don't kink shame or anything, but that was a new one for me.
He likes wearing diapers.
Well, I started to ask questions.
Yeah.
Then I was like, what exactly do you mean by diapers? And he was like, I enjoy wearing them, and I enjoy having my partner wear them. And I asked him, I was like, can you show me what you mean? I thought he was going to bring up Pornhub and show me, because I was like, what does that mean? And he got up, walked to his drawer, pulled it out, and he had an entire drawer of adult diapers. And then he took one out and he handed it to me. So I don't have my shirt on either during the entirety of this. So I'm just like sitting there, fully exposed. I'm like, I need to know more. I need every detail possible. So he hands me the diaper and I'm looking at it, and I didn't know what to say. Like, I was speechless. And then we talked a little bit. He tried to have me sleep over and I left. And then like he texted me, wanted to see me again. And then I had to go into detail and explain to him why I can't see him again. And he said, was it because of the diapers? And I'm a very open and honest person, so I had to explain to him that it was because of the diapers.
So he liked to, would he go to the bathroom in the diapers?
He says he likes changing his partner. And the kicker is that he told me that he really wants to be a dad one day. And I'm like, motherfuck no. I'm never going to have your child if you're in the diapers.
I'm a pretty open person, but that guy should be put down. No, not really, but
I was terrified.
Yeah, that guy.
I had to explain to him why it was bad. Yeah. Well, not bad. And I told him, I was like, you'll find somebody out there, because he says he's on forums and stuff online. And I'm like, you will find a girl that's in the adult diaper baby loving community.
I take back the put down part, but that is fucked up.
It is. It is. Yeah. Okay. And I you can't see me right now because I pinky promised him, and I take my word serious that I would never tell anybody. Yeah. I kept it in for about a week after, but then I had to.
You had to tell everybody after that. Yeah, I would have it.
And now everybody that I tell, they're like, you need to know. I told everybody I know, so now everybody knows about my diaper experience.
This is gonna come to a shock, but like I've heard somebody else doing that. That's like into diaper play. So this isn't the first time I've heard that, but it is shocking that it's somebody I know. Like you saying this.
I don't know. Yeah, I was shocked. That was the first time I ever heard it. Everybody I tell, they're like, oh, what the fuck? So yeah, that's my fucked up story.
So that's where you draw the line as diapers.
Yeah. Absolutely. I was not prepared for that.
Well, thanks for sharing. She who shall not be named. Yes. All right.
Okay.
Who do we have here? Lindsay, what's your last name?
Martinez.
Okay, Lindsay Martinez. So you also have a hot take on dating in Denver here?
Yes, I do. So unfortunately, what I'm experiencing is a Peter Pan syndrome of not wanting to.
We've never heard that here. Everybody say every one of our guests, I swear, that has a bad take on it. It is Peter Pan. So we want to hear your point of view.
I would say people, as in men, definitely feel like they have a lot of options with Instagram these days, social media, next best thing kind of syndrome. So it's always Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you felt that out like on certain dates? Are guys ghosting you? Are they?
I feel like
it's not getting past the second date or what?
Yeah, I think that it's always just looking for kind of more. Yeah.
And so maybe too many players out there, somebody that doesn't want to
Just
settle
not
down.
wanting to grow up.
Okay.
I'm also seeing a lot of, this is a little controversial, but 50-50, where the men don't necessarily want to step up and be men these days.
So how could they be better then?
I mean, there's just a little bit more of like feminine energy, and I'm meaning like more masculine energy. And I don't know if it's our generation, but I'm starting to see a pattern with that for sure.
You think it's just Denver? Or you think that's a generational
I think overall it's a generational thing. So not specific to Denver, but overall, yeah.
Okay.
I'm noticing that pattern, unfortunately.
Well, man, if you're seeing this, come up to her at a bar, reach out to her on Instagram, take her out to a date. And we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
thanks so much. Yeah. All right, Andre. Yeah. Thanks for coming on, man. We needed a guy on here, so we appreciate it.
I'm doing this for Isaac. Be nice to go way back.
Yeah. Can you hear him pretty good? Okay. Hey, you have a pretty wild date story.
I do. So it's probably not a wild date for me, probably for the other person. So essentially what happened is like a couple years ago over the summer, I went on TikTok. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to be straight for a little bit. Let me go on Tinder and see what it's like to be straight and date women and everything. And so I made this fake account, went on TikTok, had a bunch of people follow me and everything. And I was like, hey, follow me. I'm gonna do this whole experiment and everything like that. It was like on board for it. So I had this date set up and everything. We were supposed to go to Blue Sushi, met up, and we're just like talking. And just like, yeah, you're really sweet, you're really nice and everything. I'm like, yeah, my friends always hang out with me and everything. We have so much going on, and like we're just. I was keeping up this whole masquerade with her, talk about everything with her. And like a couple times I dropped my name because when I made my Instagram, I did a fake alias. I was like Mark Anthony and everything. And she's like, oh yeah, like my friend's Andre, you're so funny. Andre, you're so funny. She's like, is your name Andre or Mark? And I was like, actually my name is Mark, but I go by Andre the Giant because I'm so tall. She's like, oh my God, that's so cool. And like she drove like an hour from Greeley to come see me and hang out. So we got sushi. She talked to me about like her family and everything, what she's been through, everything. I'm just like, this is how I'm like, oh, okay, this has been really fun. So we end the day, I pay for everything, and we spend the next half an hour like looking for a car. She was parked in the parking garage, she got locked out, and we couldn't get in there at all. I'm like, okay, this is what I get for like not being able to like actually be honest with someone. So I'm like, okay, you know what, I'll drive you back to Greeley.
So what was the explain your rationality here of acting straight? Like you just wanted to see like what it was like being straight for a day?
So what happened was so I did this whole TikTok video of like how men are crazy and everything like that. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Let me see if women are crazy. What is it like on the other side? So I was like, so I made the whole video and I just went on Tinder. I was like, started like reaching out to people on Tinder and everything like that. And that was the whole deal.
Okay, did you want to go on a second date? I mean, how long could you have played the charade for?
So I was gonna go on a second date with her, but I posted the content online, and then so I posted the content online and everything.
Did you feel bad that she had to drive for an hour?
She drove an hour to come see me, but I felt really bad, and everybody in my comment section was just like, don't do it again. This is why I don't date at all. Like I'm traumatized and blah blah blah. So I'm like, I had a conscience. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do this anymore. So I stopped right there. But she kept hitting me up on Instagram and talking to me like, oh, when are we gonna go on a second date? When are we gonna?
Does she know now that?
I have no idea. So I deleted all my social media. I just got back on recently. I've been gone for 2 years. So like, if she knows or she doesn't know, I don't know. But,
all right. How's the dating here in Denver as a gay guy?
Ooh, it's terrible.
Is it
terrible?
really?
Not yeah, honestly, because it's like I feel like it's such a small city, so like there's just slim pickings in general, and I think a lot of people aren't just like ready to like be mature and like express themselves and like set healthy boundaries. I think a lot of people just like want to like play the field and just be in the middle and be like, oh, I'm not sure. Like I just want to take my time to figure it out, like go with the vibe. Yeah. Whereas like if you're looking for a serious relationship, what you're looking for is like somebody who's like, okay, this is what I want. These are my expectations. These are my boundaries. A, B, C, X, Y, Z.
Okay. Biggest ick. Biggest ick.
Biggest ick. Ooh. Biggest ick is Lack of communication.
Okay.
Inconsistent communication is my biggest hit.
Okay.
Biggest hit. Yeah, biggest hit. Lack of communication. If you can't communicate, like it's a turn off, and I'm just done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, dude, we appreciate you having us. You got anything else you want to say? How tall? Oh, dude, how tall are you?
Oh, so I'm 5'9".
No, he's not.
5'9".
This guy's 6'10".
I'm not 6'10". I'm 5'9".
6'10".
Isaac, we go way back. You know how tall I am, right, Isaac? I'm 5'9". No, I'm 6'10".
Any hot takes before you leave?
Dating hot takes. Ooh. I would say before you start dating anybody, before you start talking to anyone, like get your expectations, set them up front. That way, if they cross any boundaries, if they cross any lines, like you know to end it right then and there. Like don't go into dating without having any expectations or boundaries, because then you just get walked over and you won't know what's going on.
Yeah. That's pretty good, man. We can end it on that, dude.
All right, perfect.
Dude,
I appreciate you. Be safe, Isaac.
All right. Hey, first of all, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. And your name, Bridget? What's your last name?
Smith.
Okay. And then what's your Instagram handle?
Bench mommy.
Okay, bench mommy.
Yeah,
Okay. And then
yep.
Isaac also asked, what's your highest bench?
All right, my highest bench, it was like 3 years ago, but it's 255.
Okay.
I started having some shoulder pain. I've worked on my form a lot, which I feel like is really important. And when you're younger, you just get better lifting wise.
That's more than
and
Isaac, by the
working
way.
on your form. Yeah.
255.
Sorry about that.
So do you need explain your dating history here. I mean, we did talk a little bit before this.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a little bit of love for toxic men out there that you're trying to...
I'm trying to get away from
Why
that.
do you love the toxic men?
My therapist says it's because of my trauma, so apparently it's
so-
not my fault. But anyway, I guess it's more, I'm trying to get away from it. I'm in my 30s now, so
Okay.
I'm looking for more someone who's very loyal, committed, but they gotta be funny. I feel like that's hard to find, someone where I can mesh with and you feel like the sparks, whatever. So I guess that's where the toxic part comes in. It's a little more exciting, but
Do they have to be able to bench more than you?
honestly, I feel like that's a good requirement, but I don't bench as much right now because of my shoulder. I'm not really trying to max out, so
Okay.
I mean, I can do 205 for 3 still, but
All right, and what
at least the same amount.
Yeah.
But I feel okay, sorry, Isaac. We dropped you out of the count, but
Okay, that's pretty good. What's
they gotta be just really fit, love going to the gym, obviously, because that's a big part of my life.
And what steps are we taking to get away from these toxic men?
That's why I'm here, so that you guys can find the love of my life.
Hey,
so.
if there's any non-toxic men out there that can bench more,
But
than
you're
her,
funny. You gotta be
you
funny.
gotta be funny.
Yeah.
Gotta be tall, and you gotta like working out. Health is a big thing.
I don't think that's too much of a requirement.
We're gonna put her Instagram.
I'm a little picky.
underneath.
Yeah.
And then you reach out to her. So
Perfect.
well, thanks for coming on, Bridget. I
Yes. You're not
appreciate
gonna
it.
ask my biggest ick.
Oh yeah, what's your biggest?
Okay.
ick?
I feel like that's stupid too because it has to do with the gym. But when they just have a bunch of shirtless pics on their Instagram, very egotistical. I don't like that either. So you got to be a little humble.
So you don't like when guys post thirst traps?
No, all the time. That's your whole feed. That's too much. I'm trying to think of other icks, but
Okay, well
I feel like that's the first one that comes
I'll
to
have a
mind.
talk with a couple of my buddies that I know do that.
Yeah. Okay. That's you.
No,
Okay.
I don't have the muscles for it. I'm working though. I'm
right.
taking some creatine, so
Yeah.
hopefully sooner or
There
later.
we go.
I'm just
Okay.
waiting to get that muscle
What's your bench
saturation.
at?
Ooh, let's not talk about
Tough
it.
question. I'm interviewing
It's
the
gotta be
interviewer.
more than I don't know. I go for reps.
Yeah, that's me too now. I like that. Okay, I like that answer.
That's a safe answer. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thanks,
Thank you,
Bridget.
yeah.
Of course. All right, video. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks
you're
for
gonna
having
answer a question that we have on here that nobody's answered yet. It says, "What anonymous message would you send to your ex?"
Well, I would send him a picture of his own dick.
Okay. Is it anything noteworthy or what?
No, just to mess with his head. Because why
Okay.
not?
Okay.
Just anonymously, just send him a picture. He'd be so confused.
And why? The reason for that is just to fuck with them.
Yeah, honestly, he fucked with me, so why can't I fuck with him?
Do you? Hey, that's another hot topic. Do you keep exes photos nudes, and for how long?
sometimes I feel like the Snap memories, they'll just pop up once or twice.
Oh, it was over
and then-
Snap. It's not.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. There are some in the
Okay.
archives, but those are archived for a reason.
Okay. How did he mess with you?
How? Well, okay, basically he ended up liking one of his old coworkers and then dumped me a week before one of the biggest exams of my life.
Oh yeah.
And then he, a month later, decided to come crawling back, and we can't have any of that.
We can't have that. We can't. You didn't go back, did you?
Hell no.
Okay, there you go. You gotta stay strong. You gotta stay strong.
Gotta.
Yeah. So what's he up to now? Getting dick pics from you, or?
You didn't hear from me?
Yeah. Well, hopefully he doesn't see that or get a dick pic.
Yeah,
If he does, they know who it's from.
I hope you didn't hear it here.
Lydia, thanks so much for coming on. I
Appreciate
appreciate
you.
it. Yeah. All right, who do we have here?
I'm Bobby.
Bobby, dude. Nice to meet you. All right, you got a wild date story. Or
I
worst
do.
date turned into a wild date, or?
The worst date turned into the wild night.
Okay.
So basically, I knew this girl for maybe 2 years. Nothing ever came into fruition with us until this one night. So basically, we went out to dinner. It was during the summertime. We walked around the park, like the most cliche day you've ever had.
Yeah.
So then we're going back to her house to like hang out. It's like we've known each other for a while. All of a sudden, it's like 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It's a long walk, brother.
I'm ready to leave. Like, I'm tired. I'm over it. And I was like, I'll have to see you tomorrow anyways.
Yeah.
Like, let's just end the night. It was nice talking to you, whatever. So, I'm about to leave. She pins me up to the wall.
Okay.
And she goes, I'm having your babies tonight. I know what my face looked like. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she literally was pinning me against the wall. Like, I'm a fairly good sized dude.
Yeah.
And she was super strong, this girl. And she goes, we're having your babies tonight. And I was like, we're not doing that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I said, we're just friends. Like, the night ended like way too long. Like, I'm sorry that this happened.
Now you're a father of two?
And no, I have no kids to support it out there. And I kindly like pushed her away, and I was like, you know what, I'm sorry, like this isn't gonna work out. You kind of freaked me out when you said that. So night ended, I go home, she followed me all the way to my house in the car. I pulled into the apartment, she couldn't get in because the door shut behind her. She waited there all night until I had work in the next morning.
And then what? You met her out front, or what did she say?
I drove. She followed me to work, and she goes, we need to talk about last night. And I was like, you said all you had to say? Like, I'm sorry. And now she's married with 3 kids.
Yeah, okay.
6 months after.
She pinned somebody else up against the wall, didn't she? Yeah.
Like 6 months after she was married and then had kids however many months after that.
So you never did anything with her, though?
Never.
Like, okay.
Never.
That's certifiably crazy. Yeah. You can't have kids with a person like that.
No, and so I was like, now I'm like well aware of like, I don't know, expectations or whatever. super scary, but yeah.
Nice, man. Well, thanks for coming on. That was
nice
a fucking
meeting
good
you.
one. Thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate that.
You want me to shake your hand again?
No. All right, we have Cheyenne here. Cheyenne, I appreciate you coming on. What's your last name?
Padilla.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you got a good story for us, a wild date story.
Yeah.
Why don't you dive right into it?
Okay, so I've known the guy for like a few months. I'd say 6 months probably.
Yeah.
So we'd always go on dates. It was super fun. And this one night, I had some friends from college in town. He had some friends from college in town. So we were all going to go out together, whatever. And we meet up at the bars and hung out the whole night. It was super fun. And then the night ended, and he was like, oh, like, you would totally come back to my place. Like, it was normal for us, whatever. And he was like, okay, but you're going to have to Uber. And I just looked at him and I was like, Uber? Like, I don't feel safe Ubering, like, if we're going to the same place, because he drove, okay? He drove. That was important. And I just looked at him and I was like, honestly, like, I don't feel safe Ubering, like, especially if you drove, like, whatever. And he
Why
was
not just
like,
take me?
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, oh, well, like, my friends, like, they have to fit in the car too. These guys are like 6'6", 220 maybe. And I'm like, I think they could fight before I could fight.
Yeah.
And so he was like, no, like, if you want to come back, like, you need an Uber. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to
Uber. And so we were going back and forth. So finally my friends and I were like, you know what, let's just go home. Like, cool, whatever. So there we are waiting for our Uber because like, I'm not going to go back home with you, whatever. And he walked out, watches two guys approach my friends and I, and they were like harassing us a little bit. But the guy I was with like did nothing about it. And then got in his car, watched the whole thing of the guys harassing us, and then he texted me, and he was like, see, like, this is why I didn't want to go with you, like, this is why I don't want to be with you, because you always have guys around you.
Oh, and they came up to you and harassed you. Okay, you didn't even want them there. Yeah, they were, okay.
I was like, they're harassing me, and yeah, he drove off, and I spent like 30 minutes running from guys in my heels. Like, it was the scariest thing. And then it took him 3 days to message me and ask if I was safe.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that guy's a loser. That would be.
Yeah, he's a loser. Yeah.
Well, at least you got home safe, right?
Yeah, it took a while because the Ubers kept canceling on us too. Yeah. Like, the Uber canceled on us probably 3 times.
If you were like interested in a woman, why wouldn't you like drive her and then his friends could get a fucking Uber?
That's what I tried to tell him, but I don't know.
All right. Well,
I guess he didn't want to be seen leaving the club with someone.
Yeah. I appreciate you coming on. That was good. That was good. Yeah. At least you're not with that guy. So.
Yeah. I ran away.
Well, hopefully you find somebody here tonight.
I hope.
Okay. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Hey, who do we have the pleasure of talking with right now?
We got Hawk from Philly. Hawk from Philly originally, but living in Denver.
Okay.
And Lauren, originally from Chicago.
Okay. You guys also, I've known you. You live in the building.
Yeah. Fitz is a good time.
All right.
I don't even live there, and I'm there all the time.
Yes. Tell us your story, brother.
I think the wildest story I can say is like, I went on a date with this girl. Like, we went and got brunch, and it's back in Philly. Then we went ice skating at the river rink. Like, such a good time. And then we even went to the Sixers game after that. I thought, like, damn, this is perfect. Me and her had a whole day together.
You were gonna get married.
The bitch never texted me back.
That's a rough one.
Yeah, like, after that, I'm like, all right, one day at a time. I take care of some coffee now. That's it. We meeting coffee the first time. I ain't wasting no more money.
Only coffee. All right. And then Lauren's got to go on too, right?
I do. I was actually on a date for this guy's birthday.
Okay.
So he had a good time. We were celebrating and got a little spicy. Went back to his place. And things happen. Yeah. But yeah, of course. But he fell asleep midway through.
While inside?
He was. And I think he's actually here tonight.
So, wait. How do you fall asleep midway through?
I mean, I may not have helped by buying a bottle of Rumplemans for him. So I put some of that on me, but,
So what happened? Did the cadence just get slower, or did it just...
Did he start snoring in your ear or what?
I mean, yeah, rhythm definitely slowed down, and then, the panic set in of holy shit, what am I going to do down in the bottom?
If he's here tonight, we should get him on.
We should. Someone better go find him.
Yeah, someone should find him, yeah.
He might be a little too embarrassed.
Yeah, that might be a bit embarrassing. I don't know.
That's hard on a man, I think.
That is, yeah.
More fun story for me.
There you go. All right. Thank you guys. Thanks for coming on. All right. Who are we talking with?
My name's Angie.
Angie, what's your last name?
Gutierrez.
Okay. You just moved here.
I just moved to Denver, yes.
Okay, so you're looking for guy friends? You're looking for gal friends?
I'm looking for anything.
Okay, but
I'm open.
You're open. You do have a bad date story for us.
I do have a bad dating story for you.
Let's hear it.
I was living in Venice, California, and I was trying the apps.
Yeah.
I'm not an app girly, but I was willing to give it a chance. And I met this guy, and we went to a nice little Italian spot in Venice. Things were going good. Things were going normal. I told him I was a little bit spiritual. I guess he felt it was a green light for anything goes. He told me his family was in the Illuminati. And he also let me know that he was an alien.
So that he was just crazy, or he was...
No, I think he was serious.
And so what does that mean in the Illuminati? Did he tell you about it?
He went to a prestigious school in California. and his family was very well connected.
Okay.
And there was some Illuminati strings, I guess.
And so what happened after that? A second date or?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. There was a lot of wine involved, so this is a bad thing of mine. I can handle my liquor very well. So I let him drink as much as I, but I can handle my liquor really well.
Okay.
So he got a little loosey-goosey, and he let all the tea spill, and there was no recovery after that.
That was over. So he said he was an alien.
Yeah.
And then what? I mean, like, go more into depth on that. Like, what does that mean?
I was kind of lost for words at that point, but I entertained it because I think that's funny and it's interesting.
It's fun. It's a fun day.
Yeah, he was in the mental health industry too. He was a therapist.
Oh no!
Yes.
Imagine getting therapy from that guy.
I know. I can only imagine.
Well, that's a pretty good story. And so, wouldn't you want to be connected with like a wealthy group like that? No, you said no. Okay, that was it.
Yeah, that was my. I deleted the dating app because I was traumatized.
That's quite a bummer. So, well, thanks for coming on. That's a good story. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. It's good meeting you. All right, Mia, thanks for coming on.
Of course.
And what's your last name?
Panlilia.
Okay, awesome. I'm not even going to try to say that.
No, try. Yeah.
Oh, you got a pretty good dating story?
Yeah.
Okay, let's dive right in.
Okay, so I would say this is probably like a mix of my worst date and my wildest date. I'll keep it kind of short, but basically I had like an award ceremony or like gala for like school, and I had to have a date for the event. So one of my friends was like, "Oh, you should go on Tinder and like find some guy to bring to this event." I was like, "Okay, sure, whatever, fine," because I was the only single.
Could you scoot in a tiny bit?
Oh, sorry.
Gotcha.
Because I was the only single person like in my friend group, and so I find this guy on Tinder. We end up matching, and I tell him like, "Hey, do you want to be my date to like this gala event?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And so he shows up at my house like on the day of the event, and the second he opens his mouth, he literally will not shut up about like how much money he makes and like his career and like all these things, and he starts talking about like the future as if we're already dating, and I'm like, oh god, this is so bad. And so we go to the event, and he keeps like saying all these things, and so like when he gets up to go get us another round of drinks, I pick up my phone and text, "LOL, I think this guy wants to marry me."
Okay.
And I put my phone down thinking I sent that to my best friends.
You sent it to
And lo and behold, I look at my phone and I sent it to him by accident because my best friends walked past me and they're like, "You never texted us." So I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, oh my god. And so I look at I make eye contact with this guy from across the room, and he's just smiling from ear to ear, and then he responds, "LOL, who wouldn't?" And I'm like, "Oh no, here we go." And let's just say I started pounding drinks, and I was like, "This date needs to be over. Like, this is so bad." And so we end up going home together, and one thing led to another, and somehow he gave me a concussion, and I
Wait. What do you mean somehow he gave me a concussion?
let's just say that I was thrown into a wall and he gave me a concussion.
Like in a playful? I mean, like you guys were okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't read between the lines over here.
But again, I'm trying to keep this
Okay, we're PG. We're PG. No, we're not. We're not.
But yeah, I woke up the next day and I literally was like, I do not feel good. Like I am injured. Like,
Okay. And you've been married for 10 years now with him?
Oh, absolutely not. I've been single for the past, I don't even know how long.
So it didn't work out.
Yeah, it did not work out.
Okay, no second date?
No second date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you recovered though.
I did recover. I still have brain cells left. I'm okay.
There you go. They regenerate, I heard.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much, man. That was good.
Yeah,
I
nice to
appreciate
meet
it.
you.
Yeah, it's nice meeting you. All right, we got Savannah and we got Hannah over here. All right, so you had some somewhat positive stuff to say, or what are we going for here?
I kind of feel like I want to be the positive energy tonight. Okay? So I feel, but it's like positive and negative.
Okay, get after it.
So I feel like everyone just shits on Denver. They're like, Denver's the worst dating scene. Don't move here. But in my opinion, I think everywhere is just the same. I grew up in
in Chicago, Illinois, suburbs, and then I've also experienced the city a lot. And it was the same shit. So I don't think Denver's the problem necessarily. I just think
Just men in general.
No,
Okay.
I think women are the problem too sometimes. I think men and women. I think.
Do you think it's equal, or do you think men are worse than women?
You know, I think it depends on the age, but I think it is equal. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That's
to
the
an
first.
extent. I do think that I have a lot more girlfriends who I'm like, damn, like if you're single, what the fuck am I doing?
Okay.
You know? But I do think it is equal to an extent. I just think it's our culture.
Okay, so that wasn't necessarily positive, but it was fair.
It's fair.
Okay,
It's
okay.
fair, right?
Yeah.
I know. It wasn't necessarily positive, but I'm like, don't be so negative on Denver.
Yeah.
Like, damn, everybody move here. I'll date you.
Yeah, there you go. Reach out to her. And we got we got one more story over here too. This one's a little less positive.
Yeah, it's not really possible, to be honest. All right, so my worst dating story. I went on like 3 dates with a military dude. It's always the military guys. Stay away.
It's a red flag. The springs, I will say, stay away from the fucking springs.
Yeah. So we went on 3 dates, and and then I texted him one weekend, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to hang out?" And he texts me back, and he's like, "Hey, I have a girlfriend. I've been cheating on her for 6 months. Please respect my space." And I was like, "Oh, that's a fucking plot twist." Respect my space.
Imagine getting that text.
But wait, it gets better because I told Savannah about this, and she looked him up on that Facebook group.
Yeah.
There was like, are we dating?
I always look up my dates on the Facebook group. Every single time. Everyone's like, I'm like in love with this guy. And I'm like, he's perfect.
Are we dating the same person, right?
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
that okay?
It's like, are we dating the same guy?
Yeah.
I look him up.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think it's fair for guys. There should be one for girls too, right?
Okay, yeah.
But sometimes I go on there, they're like, he has a girlfriend in a different state. And I'm like, damn it, I really like this guy.
Yeah, that happens. I know a couple buddies of mine that have also been on that, and so sorry to them. Actually, they deserved it. But okay, so what did you respond?
I said that's a plot twist.
That's a plot twist?
Yeah.
You hear the accent?
Yeah, where are you from?
I'm British.
You're British.
Yeah.
Hey, I know a British guy.
Is he here?
Ollie. He's here.
Where?
Yeah, he's here. He was on the podcast. He was like our 5th guest.
Let's get
So we'll introduce you. We'll introduce you. Yeah, we'll find him. I think they went to go to another bar and then they're stopping right back over here.
Right.
Yeah. But anything else about that story you want to say? Or?
No, he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I like how he waited till the 3rd day. He's like, all right, this is immoral. I can't.
I was like, wait, what? And wait. He tried to, like, I told him I tried to get out of a date with him. I told him I had COVID. And he was like, I'll come over, I'll take care of you. And I was like, no, I don't want to go on the fucking date. I have COVID.
Yeah.
He was so persistent, like, the whole time. He's crazy.
Well, hey,
Good luck.
I think that's one of the better ones we've had on here. So we appreciate you guys coming on. If anybody wants to reach out to them, we'll put their their little Instagram on there. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. All right, we got Katie and Luke here. We got a couple good stories. So
I'm Katie.
Yeah, you gotta grab
Oh,
this.
okay, I'm
grab
on
that.
the microphone.
All right. We'll start with you. Okay. So tell us about your last date you went on.
All right, last date wasn't anything crazy. We were on like 2 to 3 dates, just met up at like a bar, very chill. I think on the 3rd date, I was like, let me try your drink, whatever. Lets me try his drink. I'm like, what is this? He's like, it's a Shirley Temple. I'm like, okay, does it have any alcohol in it? And he's like, no. He's like, I'm actually a recovering alcoholic and drug addict. And I was like, oh, so we've just been going out on dates to bars for the past 3 dates. He was like, yeah, I felt awkward bringing it up, but yeah. So that was our last date.
Did you give him a chance after, or you were like,
no?
No,
Because I'm like, you let me bring you out to a bar 3 times, and you didn't tell me I'm a recovering alcoholic.
How'd you meet him? Was it on like Hinge?
It was on Bumble.
Oh, okay. Does he say he drinks on?
No.
Oh.
Okay. Well, actually,
story.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't realize. Maybe it said I hate alcohol, and I was like, "Do you want to go to a bar?"
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that was on me.
Would you have rathered him said that like on the first date?
Yeah, on the first date.
All
Tell
right.
me.
Okay.
You know, I wouldn't have said, "Let's go to a bar."
Okay, and then would you have still gone on a couple dates with him after?
Okay, honestly, no, because I love alcohol.
Yeah. Same,
I love my margarita, but like, you know,
at least he's out, you know, trying.
he's trying, but yeah, you could have been more upfront and being like, I don't like alcohol, stop bringing me to bars.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that was that.
That was a good one. At least you know what you want. You want somebody you could drink with,
right?
And have a good time, and maybe be upfront about that, you know?
Right.
So he was drinking Shirley Temples the whole 3 days.
Well, I'm like pounding margaritas back.
You're fucking cross-eyed over here, and this guy's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
He's like sober asking me.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I don't know how he made it past 3 dates, but we made it. I don't know. So yeah, that was that.
Well, thanks for telling us. We might head over to Luke real quick.
Let's head over to Luke.
All right. Is this good? Yeah, that's good. Tell us, Luke.
Okay, so this was, in my opinion, a doozy. Met this was probably about 5-6 years ago. Met this girl on the apps. First date, we get to talking about families and stuff, and she's like starts dodging questions about her parents. Okay, come back to it like about an hour later. She finally opens up about her parents. Cut to the chase. Her dad used to be one of the biggest coke dealers on the East Coast.
What's his number? Can I get in contact with him?
See. Okay, you fell for it. I get that. That's the common reaction I get. Like, oh, that doesn't seem so bad. Just you wait.
It is bad. Don't do cocaine, kids.
Exactly. How do I say this? She after a few margaritas, she's like, "Oh, I've witnessed my dad kill 3 people," and then lied about it in court.
What'd you do?
I don't know what you're supposed to do. I don't know how old she was at the time, whatever. And then apparently she got pregnant in high school, which is like, whatever. Mom and dad did not take too kindly to this, namely dad, who shoved her out of a 2nd-story window, whilst being like multiple months pregnant.
Dad, Pablo Escobar? What the fuck is going on?
But like not in the Netflix way, I guess.
Yeah.
But and you might need to cut this from the TikTok, whatever. But the worst part of this, apparently her dad got into trouble with the wrong people when she was like 6 years old and sold her to be gang to get out of this. But I kid you not, she was the happiest, cheeriest person. And I don't think this was like a trauma dump. Like, she was genuinely just, this is me. And I was like, I appreciate this. Thanksgiving is going to be really weird. I'm out.
And that was the last time you saw her?
Yeah.
Did you give her a reason? You were like, oh, you're...
I don't want to get killed by your dad.
Yeah.
I think I came up with a more judicious way to say that.
Yeah, okay. Oh, well, good thing you're still alive to this day.
Hopefully you're not seeing this, whatever your name is. I'm not even going to wink because I really don't know who your name was. I don't even know your daughter's last name.
Yeah. We don't know anything. Nobody knows anything. Hey, I think that had to be one of the best ones. That's so wild.
See, but everyone is like, oh, that's not so bad, having a coke dealer for a dad. Oh.
Yeah, it got worse. It got way worse after that. Yeah. Well, hey, thank you guys. We appreciate it. How's it going? Yeah. All right, who do we have the pleasure of talking to here?
You have the pleasure of talking to Jessica.
Jessica, okay.
Yeah.
And so we have a beef here. I mean, not with me, but just with Denver in general. Like, it's a little too granola-y. Is that what you're saying?
I apparently have some beef with it, yeah.
Okay. There's not enough minorities here, a little bit of color, a little bit of,
I feel like I grew up in Montbello.
Okay.
I'm from Denver.
Okay.
But I do feel like the dating scene is 100%. I love the granola scene. I'm not going to shit on the granola
It's
scene.
okay.
Let me just say that right here, right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm very granola. I love to snowboard. I love to hike.
Okay.
I love to do all of those things. But when it comes to the standards of dating, it lags.
Yeah. So what are you looking for? Like, what's your type that you want to see more of out there?
Yeah. I'm Latina.
Okay.
Can you tell?
I can tell, yeah. You got the spice. I can tell.
So I'm Mexican,
Yeah.
and I think that's what it's lacking. I think that I don't 100% believe in like toxic masculinity or anything like that, but I believe in chivalry.
Okay.
Open the door for me. Do this for me. Like I'm already very independent. I think that sometimes, how can I say this in a nice way in Colorado terms?
You don't have to say it in a nice way.
I don't have to?
No.
Okay. Okay. I don't think I have to. So I think that the man has to provide when it comes to certain situations.
I think a lot of people have that view, though, too. A lot
Well,
of people.
and as a Latina woman, I've had to fight for the position that I'm in, right? So I have to be with somebody who's like willing to put in the work, and I'm willing to put in the work for that as well. And Colorado isn't doing that for me, unfortunately, because I lived it out. Oh my god!
There's some good guys out there. We're gonna find them, okay?
Wait, are you gonna find them for me?
We're gonna find you one here. They're gonna reach out to you. We're gonna put your Instagram, and they're gonna find you and take you on a date.
No, let me tell you my hot take.
Okay, give me a hot take.
I think that everybody is here to find love, but I think that sometimes men are willing to put in the work for it.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's so fair.
Yeah.
And we
That's
can,
my hot take for it.
and we can leave it at that. So if there is somebody that's looking to put in the work, looking to take her out on a date, open the door, open her car door, you gotta reach out to Jessica.
Let me know. Let me know.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
babe.
you so much for having us. All right, Ted.
Joey Jeans.
We got you, dude. We got you. Finally got you. Hey, so you got a pretty fucked up date story for us.
I do.
Let's get after it.
It starts as all of them do. In the Tinder realm. So I had season tickets. My family has season tickets to Minnesota Golden Gophers football. They couldn't go last minute, couldn't sell them. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go. Trying to find a girl to go. Mind you, I'm living at my parents' house in their basement. This is fun employment. This is a little gap.
It's wild, Ted.
This is a gap in the career, but also don't have a lot to really, brag about because it's like, yeah, I live with my parents. Anyways, I go down the list. It's like, hey, who can go to this Gopher game with me? And I don't know. A few said no. Got one to go. I'll be honest with you, don't remember her name. But after the story, you probably understand why. I showed up. I picked her up on the way to the tailgate lots. Already blacked out. Smell the vodka on her breath. She's mid-conversation. She's on speakerphone. One of the people that speaks on speakerphone in public.
The most annoying.
It's like hold it up to your face.
The most annoying,
Yeah. But she's doing that. Like coming out of her building. Gets in my truck, does that. But I see on her phone, she's 20 minutes in, scream fighting with her mom, her aunt, or something. It's familial issues. She's like, wait, don't leave yet. I have to finish. I was like, oh my God. About 15 more minutes of that in my truck. I'm just...
It's a first date.
Oh yeah, we'd never met. I hadn't introduced myself.
Did you still take her home?
Yeah, this girl's no. Okay, define take her home. Take her physically home? Yes.
Okay.
Because this girl's yes. But I was like, I'm not missing this game. I think they're playing Ohio State. It was a big game. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I wanted to see the football game personally. I was like, I'm not missing this.
Okay.
I was like, you're already here. We're gonna go. Like, this is gonna suck, but we're gonna go. We go to the game. I don't know. I think we had to leave at halftime. She got too belligerent. It's like people I know are like, it's the student section, or not the student section, the season ticket section. These are family friends all around us. Well, no, but just belligerent. Yeah. Like, I was like, you have to sit down. It was really bad.
Did you see her again?
Oh, brother. I don't even remember her name. I was like,
okay.
But hey, at least I was like, okay, I want to see this game, but this is just an absolute liability. So it's like we gotta go home. Like you need to go home. This date's over. And so get back to the truck. Well, no, we don't. We get back to the lot that we parked in, that I parked in. She's like, I need to pee. Goes into the porta potties. She passed out in one of the porta potties. Door unlocked. Dude, nightmare. It's like, okay, wake up. I gotta pee myself, and then I'll drive you home. I go pee. I come out. I have a picture of it on my phone. I might not share, but dude,
How'd she look like?
Passed out, face down in the tailgate lot. It's like dark. The game, like it's roaring from the stadium, and she's in a puddle, like face down, blacked out, passed out. Dude.
So you saved your life.
Yeah, I was like, it's like, yeah, I cannot leave this person. Yeah. I mean, it was on that trajectory from the start, and I knew it was going to be bad news. So anyways, yeah, missed the game. Gophers lost. My life is pain. Whatever. That is neither here nor there.
It's a fucking... And then you just dropped her off at home?
No, I had to carry. Yeah, she was.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, but it's like, it's like this girl needs some help. But yeah, got her home. Was like, where are your keys? Found the keys, but yeah, no, I carried her out too.
Holy fuck!
Just huffing and puffing.
Just another day.
It was out too. Yeah, of course.
Just another day in Denver.
Oh, dude.
No, that wasn't in Denver.
That wasn't in Denver. No, we've improved since then. Okay. Denver's a lot better than that. I would say.
Okay.
It's a lot better. Denver's better than that.
There you go.
That's it. I guess just to to provide perspective for other dating markets, dating pools. It gets worse. This is the best dating pool that I've experienced.
There we go. Hey, that's a win for Denver right there. That's a win for Denver.
Win in the win column.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for coming on, man.
Of course.
We are here with Catherine. Catherine, you got a good story about the Botanical Gardens?
Oh yes, I had one of the worst dates of my entire life at the Botanic Gardens.
Let's hear about it.
So it was a very similar night like tonight where we had a beautiful snow covering. And if you live in Denver, you know the Botanic Gardens are known for the Botanic Garden lights.
Yes.
So I had 2 tickets. I'd seen this guy a couple of times and I thought, how more romantic would it be, this guy I'm just starting to see, if we go walk around the Botanic Garden lights? I asked him, he said yes, and it was so wonderful. So I get the Uber, I pull up to his place, and I immediately knew something was wrong because he got into the front seat of the Uber.
Okay.
So I'm in the back seat, he's in the front seat, and I just kind of ride the whole way to the Botanic Gardens by myself while he's having a lovely conversation with the Uber driver, asking him all about his life, how he's doing that night. Yeah. And I thought, oh no. Did I ask
That's not a hot start.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
not a hot
Terrible
start.
He'd rather be on the date with the Uber driver I worry about. So we get to the gardens and I thought, okay, now the date can begin. It's romantic. The lights are everywhere. The snow is falling. Oh no, it was friends only that whole time. No hand holding. It felt like I had just met this person. And we turn the corner and the lights are gorgeous and you see everything and there's a couple proposing right in front of us and I go, oh no, I should not be here with this man. So we finish very awkwardly. We don't speak the whole date. It's like an hour of walking through the gardens.
You don't speak at all?
No, he doesn't speak to me. Every conversation I try and pick up, it's like, oh, so, how long? And you're like, oh, okay, very short. And I'm thinking, why would this man ever want to,
why go on a date?
Why are you here with me? I would much rather just do this by myself. So we finally finished. We're finally done. And I'm thinking, oh my God, get me anywhere out of here. So we kind of start to walk back to our respective apartments. And he turns to me and he goes, want to come up? I'll make us dinner. Absolutely not.
Did you go up?
Absolutely not.
Okay. He was just opening up.
I was like, should we call the Uber driver? It seems like you had a lot more chemistry with him. So anyway, do not take a very new date to the romantic botanic gardens unless you're certain about it. Luckily, he did not text ever again, but that is my bad date story, is being tortured.
That's a good one.
No chemistry through the botanic gardens.
I don't even know I went on it.
Oh my God. Next time, just let the Uber driver take you on your date.
Thanks, Catherine. I appreciate it.
Of course, anytime soon.
All right. Who do we have the pleasure of talking about? Sam, brother. Okay, so we got a wild date story.
Joe, I gotta be honest with you. The wildest date I think I've been on.
Yeah.
Recent memory, recency bias here, is tonight.
Okay.
Go to Winter Park today. Solo trip. Pick up 2 girls that work at Winter Park.
Yeah.
Bring them back to Denver. Bring them here. And now here we are on a date tonight.
And how's it going?
So far, ladies, how's your date tonight? Good? Great. And then going to brunch with another lady friend as well tomorrow night. So worked it out. It's so a little fast track behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that.
We can leave it at that. I mean, how is the dating track record for you?
You know what? It's fine. Dating in Denver is fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
You
fun.
seem like a suave guy. You seem like somebody that could put it together.
All you have to be is outgoing, sociable, and positive.
There we go.
As you walk up to
the
someone,
top 3.
introduce yourself, get their number, and then bada bing, bada boom, all of a sudden go on a date for Thursday.
And what are you looking for? What's the end goal here?
The end goal?
Yeah.
Wow. Someone with ambition, someone that's going places.
Okay.
Someone that skis. Icon preferably, but I think we can do.
Okay.
And someone that's going places, right?
Okay.
Similar to you, Joe.
Okay.
Doing something outside.
Thank you.
The normal 9 to 5.
I appreciate it, man. And so, like, if you found the right gal tomorrow, you settling down or you having too much fun?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Come on, Joe.
I saw it in your eyes, brother.
I think
saw it in your eyes.
Why not?
Okay, why not? You know, Sam, dude, thanks for coming on, brother. Yeah, we gotta cut that. All right, who do we have the pleasure of sitting down with today?
I'm Callie. I'm Sophie.
Okay, Callie, let's hear. You said you had all the answers here, so let's dive right into it.
Okay, you want to just go down the list?
Well, if you got one that sticks out, since we're trying to keep it under 5, but whatever you want to talk about.
I guess we can do my wildest date story.
Let's go.
Oh God. My wildest date story was I went on Tinder and met this guy.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to meet at a coffee shop. And I saw that he had like this lifted like Tacoma, and I'm into cars and stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
So I saw this lifted Tacoma and I was like, oh my God, do you like go off-roading and do all sorts of stuff?
This is my husband.
But I was like, do you do all sorts of stuff? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, bet, why are we getting coffee at 8 p.m.? Let's go off-roading. And he was like, we're not doing it. And I was like, we are though.
Yeah.
And I went 5 hours into the mountains with this guy on my first date, and no cell phone service, forgot to tell my friends. So they just saw my location go into the mountains and disappear. Could have been killed.
Yeah.
I am here today.
There you go.
Supposed to be here. But I saw the Milky Way with my bare eyes, and I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. And if it's the last thing I see, that's the last thing I see. So
That's a good date. And was there a second date?
no.
Oh.
But
That was such a good date. Why was there not a second date?
we just weren't vibing as a personality afterwards, but I was like,
Yeah.
there were some other details.
Yeah, what were the other details?
Oh no.
Air it out.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's rated R.
Well, I went back to his house and he was renovating his house.
Was there a reason he had a lifted truck? Was he compensating for something?
No, but he liked cars too.
Okay.
But his remodel of his house, there was no ceiling in the house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate when I'm looking up and I see the rafters, you know, and there's no ceiling.
And there were some other like really gross details that I was like, okay, well, this was great. Maybe not for another time, but this is good the second time.
Put a little more emphasis on his car than he did his home, maybe.
Yes.
And other things.
He was a good guy, but I was like, there was details of the rest of the night that I was like, whoa.
Give us one. Give us one.
It's bad.
Give us one. Give us one. Give us one.
Do we do gross things?
Yeah, gross. We do gross things.
He took the condom off and put it in a dirty dish on his nightstand and left it there and then went to the bathroom afterwards. And I was like, why wouldn't you just take it with you?
Put it next to the other dirty condoms. But well, that was a fantastic story. Now I understand why there wasn't a second date.
I'm scared.
Let's do it.
I'm actually scared.
You might have to scoot in here.
Okay. All right. I've got wildest dating story.
Yeah.
So, what had happened is that I was in LA and I was on Bumble for the first time. And I matched with this guy, and height doesn't matter to me, but like he said he was 6 foot, so I believed him. And our first date was at BJ's, the restaurant, BJ's.
Yeah, I've been to BJ's. Yeah.
You've been BJ's, yeah, slay.
Too big of a menu, by the way. You can't have that big of a menu.
Too many options. Like condense that shit. So what had happened is that we went, and I'm there first, and then he shows up. He said he was 6 foot. He was 5'5".
Yeah. That'll do it.
I'm 5'11", so I'm a big woman, and so I was like,
where did the other 7 inches go?
I was like, do you know math? Do you know numbers? Anyways, so I was like, all right, I could let it slide. Maybe he just doesn't understand. But I knew he was lying. So then we're there, and the date is awkward. And I wanted to go immediately when I saw he was 5'5" because he lied about his height. But I'm an open woman, so I understand. So then we go and we walk to the movies, which is upstairs, because this is in LA and Century City. He grabs my hand. His hands are wet, like clammy. I'm a sensory person, so like the moment I felt it, I was like, hold on, I'm trying not to puke, you know, like while I'm holding it, because I'm like, that's disgusting. I hold it because I'm a people pleaser, so I'm like dying at the same time. And then we get to the movie, and then I'm like, oh, thank God he's gonna let go of my hand. No, he's still holding it. I was like, how am I supposed to eat my fucking popcorn?
Yeah. Your hand's soaking wet by now.
Moist and beyond moistness, okay? And so I'm just like, okay. And so we're watching. It was gross. I wanted to leave, but I watched the movie because it was James Franco. You know, and Seth Rogen. It was a comedy, and I was like, fine, let me just try. Then we're leaving, and I was like, thank God. Sorry, but thank God. I was like, let me go. And then he comes in for a kiss out of nowhere, and that's fine. But it was like, I don't know. Do you have you ever practiced making out when you were younger? Like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Practice making out when
when you're younger. Like when you're a teenager, you're like trying to practice to see how you're good at it.
How do you practice?
With like, I don't know, a wet wall or something. I don't know, in the shower. Girls understand it. Girls will understand it. Okay. It's like, exactly. Your arm is like, okay, I'm practicing. It felt like that.
Yeah, okay.
So it was like, you know those fishes that like I was so disgusted. I was like, he was doing it and I was just there. I was just like a wall, basically. And when he was done, I was like, okay, bye. And I ran to my car and I spit and I wiped my face with a sanitizing wipe. And then I was like, I deleted Bumble.
Hey, that's all you could do. That was the right move.
It was actually the wrong move downloading it, because that was the worst date I've ever
been on.
We live and we learn.
BJ's. I can never go back.
Yeah, you
so.
can't go back to BJ's.
That's it. That's all I've got.
Thank you guys so much for coming on. Yeah, I appreciate it. All right, who are we sitting with today? You might have to.
Hello, I'm Ashley. How's everyone doing?
I'm Nora.
Okay, so we got a couple hot takes here. And so what do we want to say? What's the deal? What's the deal in the streets of Denver?
Start it off. There is a toxic sentence.
Speak up a tiny bit more.
Okay, hold on. There is a toxic sentence.
Okay.
I hear in the dating diaspora.
Yeah.
And I mean, it might not be for everyone, but I've heard it time and time again. And I'm like, there's 8 billion people in this world. And it is, you're so exotic.
The worst. It's the worst. I'm just brown. Like, I don't know what to tell you, you know?
So what's your reaction to that?
I mean, why would you say something like that to me?
Yeah, you say that to the people that are saying you're so. How often do you get that?
I mean, 99% of the time I get it because my name is very like American, and because of that, they like already have like a idea in their mindset. They're like, oh, she's probably half this, half this.
And what do you get often, like ethnicity wise?
Mexican, Hispanic.
I guess Saudi. They're like, are you Middle Eastern? Should I call you Habibti? And I'm like, dude, I mean, you could. I mean, I love that. But yes, no, like, I get Hispanic, yes. But, like, my thing is, like, yes, my name is very global. Like, Ashley, you would never know what my race is. But when I say I'm Pakistani, then they're, like, confused. They're like, where is that located? And I'm like, in the Denver scene, and also 8 billion people in this world, you don't know on the map, like, where Pakistan is located. I don't know. It gets to be an interesting conversation on dates for sure.
There you go. And so what are we looking for out there? I mean, just somebody that's a little bit more open or understands where the fuck Pakistan is or what?
Yes,
Okay.
and empathetic.
Empathetic.
If you're empathetic, yes, see, if you're empathetic, I feel like that makes a world of difference, right? Like your understanding of the human that you're talking to, and you can understand that people are from different cultures and backgrounds, and that does not seem to be a thing here. And I'm from here, and it's still like, you know, my whole life, it's not a thing here.
Some people just need a little more education out there, I guess. So.
Yeah. Well, that even, but also like my biggest thing is like, let's say you don't know about Pakistan, let's say you don't know about South Asia, but my thing is that openness to like want to learn about different cultures as opposed to having your own biases. That's like a really big thing for me because Colorado, I mean, I don't want to generalize, but I've lived here for 20 plus years, so I'll say it isn't as diverse as I'd like it to be. And so I'd love a person that is open to learning about more cultures than opposed to having their own biases. And that's the biggest thing that I come across, and I wish we could get past. And I've not found that.
So if you're out there and you fit that mold, or you're one of those guys, please reach out. Please reach out. We got a couple of singles on the pod, so thank you guys so much for coming on. Avery, we're on.
We're on. I'm so excited.
Well, hey, thanks for hosting this,
Thanks
by the
for
way.
coming, you
Because we
guys.
wouldn't have been here unless you have your clubs. And
My
you're a
clubs.
club lady.
I'm a club
So tell us
girly.
about all your clubs here.
So I only have my women's social club, as
Okay.
we know. Welcome. And then I'm just involved in a lot of other clubs in Denver.
Okay. And where's the next meetup?
That's my hot best friend Sid. Her at is possibly Sydney on Instagram.
And so why did you start the club?
So I started the club in March, and I was really craving. I'm originally from Colorado, and I was really craving just community, connecting with people. It's my favorite thing. Pussy.
Keep going.
So I started the club in March.
Yeah.
I'm really into community, organically connecting with people. I feel like we're a very disconnected world with phones, apps, things like that. And so I like connecting in person. We put our phones away. We have fun.
Tell us what we have going on here tonight.
So tonight we have our first singles mixer at Hello Darling. Thank you for coming. One of many, I very much hope. and we had a bigger turnout than I expected.
Yes.
Insane.
It's packed.
Yeah, it's packed. So hopefully more in Denver because the Denver dating is horrible, as we know. Horrible.
Some say that. Some might say that.
Some might say that. Not me.
And so, community, where's the next one being held? Are you going to have more of these?
So I'm gonna have more of these. The next one should be a Mockingbird, which will be really fun. And then maybe another one, a Hello Darling. My sweet friend Nassim is owner of this place, and he is so gracious to host us. So.
And then if the girls here, because it is essentially a girls group.
It's a women's club.
Called what?
Yes, the Group Chat Denver.
The Group Chat Denver.
Yep.
They want to follow you. That's Group Chat Denver
It's the
on
Group Chat
Instagram.
Denver. Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. That's where they can find me.
And then there'll be more community
There'll be more
things.
community. I have I post on our Instagram like once a week, and I line up everything for the month. And then you can RSVP, you can not, you can just show up. So.
Well, thanks so much, Avery.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us, and hopefully we'll be at the next one.